Is everybody here yet? Or okay. I've never seen him. He always does it off the cuff. He's got paper. I can't believe it. Okay. So I'll give him a little introduction. He's about to destroy me in about 10 minutes. This is my friend of 44 years, Mr. David Smale. So he's going to welcome you. Please put your hands together and give him a big round of applause. David Smale!
Thank you. As William has said to each of his wives, I won't keep you long. I've known William since we were 6 or 7, and it's now my responsibility tonight to tell you a few things about this great man before we toast him for reaching 50 on his 51st birthday. I met William 44 years ago when we attended a small prep school in North Norfolk. We quickly became best friends and decided that we should form a club. William put himself in charge of branding, while I was put to work recruiting new members. I soon persuaded a new boy called Chitham to join our club and couldn't wait to tell William the news. He likewise had exciting news for me. After much thought, he decided to name the club the La La Bonga Choo Choo Club. Unfortunately, Chitham for some reason soon left, and William and I to this day still remain as the only 2 members. He was easily the tallest boy in our year, and pretty soon became the tallest boy in the school, even towering over many of the teachers. Instead of basketball, William chose tennis as his sport, and this height advantage would allow him to fire down bullet-like serves on his poorer opponents. He moved from playing for his school to local competitions, beating his older brother regularly, beating me always, and more recently playing in many of the finals of his local club. It has been said that William was and still is a sports fanatic. He loves playing it. Golf, tennis, snooker, darts and running, watching it, almost everything, and for much of his life trying to predict the results for monetary gain. On this third element, he was sometimes incredibly successful, and in 1980 placed a £1 bet and won nearly £7,000. At this time, that amount of money would have been life-changing. But for William, the only thing that changed was the amount of money that he could gamble for a period of 2 weeks before he gave it all back to the bookmakers. William left school and trained to become a radio DJ and was given the prime time slot on a show between the hours of 2 AM and 4 AM Monday to Friday on a small London radio station. However, he soon realised that he didn't have the face for radio and decided to return to Norfolk to pursue his media career by becoming a cameraman and directing films. He had limited success with titles such as Dirty Dick and Debbie do Barningham, and even starred in a few of his own movies, copies of which I now have available at the discount rate were £9.99, now 49p. Performing for an audience has always been one of William's favourite pastimes. But there were occasions when the only audience he could drum up was his mother Mavis and Doodles the dog. So it was during these times that William was forced to retire to a quiet corner of the house and spend an evening with a microphone attached to a broom handle stuck in a plant pot, carrying a tennis racket in place of a guitar and wearing a tea towel for a bandana. He would then film himself singing and miming to the rock and roll classics whilst prancing around his living room like a true rock god. It was during a particular guitar solo section of Won't Get Fooled Again by The Who that he lost control of his pogo dancing routine and ended up destroying a valued family portrait hanging on the wall behind him. However, William soon realised that Norfolk didn't hold the excitement that he craved and returned to London to seek his fortune. He toyed with the idea of working in the city, but his risk profile was considered too hazardous by Chemical Bank when he went for an interview. I'm not sure whether becoming a decorator was his second career choice, but it was soon obvious that he had a clear advantage over his competitors by being able to paint ceilings without a ladder. They say you never make mistakes in life, you only learn things. Well, William was certainly learning a lot during this time. From ordering 25 rolls of expensive wallpaper for a client when 7 rolls were only needed, to removing the radiator from the wall without turning the water off first, and just when the client came in through the front door, spraying her with a 30-foot jet of dirty water. He was even learning that pricing work at the right level was an important part of making money. And soon he was earning as much as 37p an hour on some of the better jobs. But since then, he has built the business into one of the largest and most respected decorating companies in southwest London, painting some incredible houses and employing around 15 staff who he treats like family, and I know some of them in here tonight. Yeah. Before I finish, I'd like to say it's not often that friendships last for so long, and he really has been a best friend throughout all these times. He's been my best man at 2 of my weddings, and I've been the best man at 27 of his. I was trying to think about why our friendship has lasted the test of time. And they say that a friend in need is a friend indeed. And perhaps it's that, since whenever we used to meet, William was always in need of something. Usually money or advice about keeping all his wives happy. But actually, I think it's the fact that we not only share the same interests, but also that we have the same sense of humour. He makes me laugh, and I hope that he'll still be making me laugh by the time I have to give his 90th birthday speech. I'd like you all to raise your glasses and toast the legend that is Mr. William Cousins Hardy.